I mean, I definitely didn't play my best both of the days. I missed a lot of putts, but my throwing was really good, so I'm pretty happy, even though it could be better. And I'm looking forward for tomorrow.
Good. I've had one bogey so far on the 10th, which is probably the hardest hole we've played all tournament this far. So overall, pretty good. Still recovering from a broken finger injury about 2 months ago, so it feels good to finally play some good disc golf.
Today was a little bit slow. Only had one bogey. I scrambled my butt off. I was in all sorts of weird positions all over this course, and through some incredible scramble shots, made some very good putts to save par today. But again, it was slow. I just wasn't really on, but was able to kind of keep it together, and I think I'm 2 back as of now going into Championship Sunday, so that's all I need. Just, yeah, keep me close, and I'll take it, even with the slow day.
How are you feeling about tomorrow?
I think that's probably the course that plays the best for my game, because it's more open, more long shots, so I'm really looking forward for that.
Good. Haute is probably the course I'm probably the least prepared for. We only played it one time and it has a little more distance, but if I can just stay in bounds, I should be pretty good.
I'm feeling good about tomorrow. I got one round in at Haute, and anything can happen out there. If the wind's up, it becomes anybody's game, and yeah, I think it suits my game pretty well. I'm just gonna go out there, throw my shots, and just kind of stick to my game plan, not necessarily let anybody else kind of sway me on what I'm gonna do.
Welcome to final round coverage of the Canadian Championships presented by Innova, a DGPT Q Series event. This has been filmed by Canuck Hux. My name is Joshua Sachs doing the commentary for you today. Just as a quick note before we get this underway, the first few holes that you're going to be seeing on this front nine were filmed with the backup camera with a long lens. So you're going to be quality concerns, which I didn't really see when I was reviewing it. Don't worry, it does get much better starting at hole 7. Before we get underway with our lead card, we're going to see the chase card tee off featuring the top Canadian finisher from this year, Thomas Gilbert, along with Clay Edwards, Jake Voskamp, and Eric Wiebe. So this is the final round of our 3-day event covering 3 different courses across the Peterborough and Port Hope area of Ontario. Good to see a lot of variety in this year's courses, although I'm sure some of the pros would prefer to stick to either 1 or 2 courses for the tournament. It was nice to showcase the variety that we have here in Ontario. Let us get underway with this coverage. First hole, we have a par 4, 769 feet, featuring a downhill tee shot, ending up in this landing zone on the left-hand side before the OP that kind of jets back out to the right as you're getting closer to the green. Throwing a second shot in through these trees, looking at the basket just behind this first row here in the sun. First on tee, we have Ryan Monn coming to us from South Carolina, Team Discraft, the 2024 MJ18 and MA1 world champion. Here we see he's going to take a nice, pretty big hyzer line, throw it out just to get himself into the open area down at the green. Next on the tee, 2 shots behind our leader, we have Austen Bates coming from Michigan. Austen has taken down 2 DGPT Q Series stops so far this year in Michigan States and Pennsylvania States. Looks like it might have just gone a touch long there off the tee shot. So hopefully he'll be able to get up and down for his par. Next up we have Jaden Rye coming to us from Texas. Definitely an up-and-comer. Good to see him coming up for these events. Looks like he got a nice shot off. And last on the tee, we have Jakub Semerád from Czechia. Jakub has won a number of events in the past, but most recently took down second place at Jonesboro this year. So good to see him getting out. Nice to see him up in Canada for sure. So as I said, nice open area here, looking at about 250, maybe pushing 300 on the second shot. Going to take a nice wide hyzer going in, Looks like he skipped up, should be C1 putt. Jaden going a little bit higher. Looks like just going to get caught in the trees, but looks like he got a good roll out of it. Ryan taking the forehand line. I'd argue it's probably a little more open coming in from that side with the trees that are there. Looks like he got a favorable kick as well coming down. And last we have Austen, who it does appear did go a little too far and ended up in that OB there. Looks like he might have had a little bit of grip lock and just pushed himself all the way through to the behind the back of the green there. Looks like we have Jakub here putting just outside the circle. Got a lot of left side chains that just unfortunately didn't stick. Austin's pushed himself towards the path for the next hole. A lot of little or skinnier trees, I would say, to get through to get himself back in and clean up the par. Just a touch high, but right on it. And here we have Ryan just going to clean up his birdie putt. And I'm assuming Jaden was just a little bit closer. He's also going to clean this putt up for a birdie. Just a little bit left here for Jakub to take his par. So, not bad overall. One OB stroke led to the one bogey on the card. Nice little replay of Jakub's upshot here. Just hole one played a little bit over quarter stroke over par, so not super hard, but not super easy either. Hole 2, par 3, 467 feet. Pretty straight shot. I was looking at it, probably going to get a lot of force overs or kind of turnover backhand shots to get into this green. It's a little blocked off if you're coming in from a hyzer line because of the two larger trees on the right side of the gap. Forehand line's blocked by the trees on the left hand side. So Ryan was just let it go a touch early. I don't know if you want to take it quite that wide if you're trying to push into the green. It looks like he's got a nice open shot coming in for his putt. Doesn't appear to be a lot of wind going, as you can see from the chalk dust that Jaden's kicking up. Hole 2 played about the same, about a quarter of a stroke over par. Not super hard, but also it's not super scoreable at this distance. Looks like he just turned over a little bit too much. He's getting up on the right side with some trees in his way. Looks like Jakub took a little bit of a higher line, and also a little bit more of a flippy disc. Good kick out from the trees. It could be kind of deadly trying to putt from over there, which is close to the tee for the next hole. Austen also went a little bit higher, but didn't quite turn over as much. Looks like he pushed just a little left, possibly deep of the pin. Nice, smart forehand upshot from Jaden there. Didn't have a lot of options. Almost was Ryan's setup there, but nice quick, just pitch under the basket. I think we're going to get a bit of a run here from Jakub. He seems to have nice straight lines, so wishing him the best on this one. Just coming up a touch short. Can see Austen just to the left edge of the screen here. Looks like he might be just outside of C1 here, but in some Twizzlers. Thought it might be clear from his angle. Nice little elevator putt there. Good to see him finish that off and get back to even on the day. And then we're going to have 3 par cleanups after the rest of the cards. So nice to see me. Yeah, just rewatching Ryan's tee shot. I think he might have just gotten that a little early, or maybe that's the play he was going for. It's it's hard to say. It ended up in a good spot, just not necessarily one that you could really score from. Hole 3, 222 feet, dead straight through a double mando that is about 6.5 to 7 feet wide, so pretty narrow at its widest, or at the point you're throwing through it. Have a little bit of OB area right in front of the basket and that barricade wall. Likely going to see a bunch of forehands here. Doesn't look happy with it. I don't know what he was intending to go for, but it looks like he's parked, so he's upset that it didn't have the height for an ace run. That's hard to say, but good shot nonetheless. If I had to guess, given that Austen and Ryan are both on Team Gizcraft, I'm guessing a zone or something similar off the tee here, just to make sure you have the distance and it's going straight. This is looking very good from Jaden, just a little short and left, but that should leave a nice little tap in for his birdie. And then just a little bit of an early release there. Jakub knocks the inside of the mando line, kicks through, but into safety. Ryan had a little bit of a tester putt there, gave it a go, try and get his 2. Unfortunately not, so he's going to clean up his 3 right there. As you can see, our gallery has started to form as well, so hopefully we'll get to see that grow a little bit more as the round goes on. And here we have tap-out birdies for Jaden and Austen. So very nice to see. Clean that up pretty nicely. We're going to move on to hole number 4 in a second. Nice little slow-mo. Hole number 4, 312 feet. Straight, pretty narrow, not a lot of airspace on either side here because of the tree growth. Not that it's a problem. Have these 2 fences as well, which just add a little bit of difficulty to the hole because you have to use the airspace. You can't just necessarily skip something up along the ground. I'm guessing we're going to see some flip up and ride backhands. Here we see Austin just sneaks over the fence on the right. Should leave him with a bit of a nice easy tap in. Looks like Jaden's going for a flex forehand. Also a great play on this hole. Looks like just got a little bit of tree in there, but gets through no problem. Ryan taking a bit of a higher line with a probably slower disc than what we saw Austen throw. Drifts its way nicely right up by the pin. And Jakub also looks to be lining up a backhand. Yeah, good shot right at it, just to the right of the pin. Jaden's the farthest one out, and he looks to be maybe 20 feet. So I'm expecting that we'll get to see our first star frame. This hole did play 0.2 strokes under par on the day, 17 birdies on the field. So fairly easy. There's no OB, anything to worry about on this hole, so I wouldn't have expected much different. As we get going, 4 holes in, Ryan's still maintaining a 1-stroke lead on Jaden, a 2-stroke lead on Austen, and has opened it up to a 4-stroke lead on Jakub. But there are still 14 holes left to play, at least, for this tournament. Par 5, 715 feet, features a bit of a U shape, or a horseshoe shape maybe for this fairway. You're throwing a shot basically to this area here. Then you have 3 different fairways to choose from, or 3 different lines to choose from, so to speak, to get yourself down towards this area here as we look in towards the basket. As we come back a little bit, towards the pin here. Those of you that remember last year, that pin's in the kind of second bit of the fairway that we had. Not surprised to see a big like sky forehand here just to get himself in position. There's not a lot of play to go straight through the fairway or to try and push it too much to the right, because you do have the two Mandos here. Second, which is kind of really pinched off, so if you miss it, you don't really have a shot into the green. I definitely like these plays of kind of taking the wider gap. Looks like Austen pushed about as far back as possible, so has the option of any of these kind of lines to get through. Looks you ideally want to get just past that tree that Austen stopped by to give himself a shot into the green. Ryan's looking at the widest of the laneways and the trees here. Which is ideal if they were going to the blue basket, but they are going for gold. Looks like you just caught a little bit of a tree there. Jakub kind of looking at the same gap Ryan was, although throwing a backhand roller, which looks like it just caught a bit of a tree and skipped itself up. Jaden looking okay up there. Could be a little pinched off for the green. It's very tough. I don't know. Can see this played almost 3/4 of a stroke over par today. Only 2 birdies for the field. So definitely not surprised by that at all. Our 2 birdies came courtesy of Eric Weeb, who was on our chase card, and Jared O'Brien, who was on the second chase card, for lack of a better word, or term for it, I should say. When you're seeing 2 forehand rollers out of your lead card, it's definitely a tough hole. Here we're seeing all of our lead card pitch up, just looking to take their pars out of here. Doesn't look like anyone's like too enthusiastic about that approach shot there, but they're all nice pinned to the bullseye to the basket, so nice to see them finish this out. Certainly a good looking forehand roller, just caught a little tree at the end there. Coming up, we have hole 6, 433 feet, kind of 2 tunnels to get yourself through. First one is pretty open, just have to avoid those 2 trees on the flyby. Second one, there is a Mando on the right hand side, although it's pretty pushed off and there's a lot of trees in the way. If you're getting through to about this area, you're in prime position to take your birdie. If you're short and get caught up in the trees on that second tunnel, that definitely makes it a lot more difficult to get access to the green. Here we see Austen. Looks like he's going to skip right around that, or through that second tunnel, so he's going to be in a great spot to attack the green. So Jaden is lining up backhand. Might have let that go touch earlier, didn't quite get enough turn on it. So he's in that second set of trees. And Ryan instantly knowing where he's going. Those are tough to get out of. Not much of a line. Probably not a lot of room to swing your arm in there. Jakub looks like he's about to have the opposite problem and be tucked in on the right side, which is very hard to access the green from there. But I'm sure we're going to see some good things. Ryan looks like he's taking a little sneaky gap that is available. If you're just past the Mando, there is a line to the basket, although it is about 3 feet wide at its widest point. Good little pitch out from Jaden. Now we have Jakub looking at I apologize to those that throw them, tomahawk or thumber. I can't really tell which way he's gripping it. But just trying to get out of the spot he's in. Think it ended up well. Yeah, not many better places to be than where Austin's throwing this shot from. Nice, easy run at it. Ryan pitching out from the trees. Here we have where Jakub ended up. So good result from that tough shot. I'm going to take a birdie here. Jaden from that pitch out in the bushes. Going to take his par. Looks like Ryan is going to, or did tap out a par already. And here's Austen just tapping out his birdie. Hole 6, bit of a tough hole. Or hole 7, sorry. Sorry, that was hole 6. Bit of a tough hole played, although 20 birdies on it. So you can get yourself in trouble, but if you throw cleanly, it is a obviously very scoreable hole for the group. Hole 7 here, 339 feet. Relatively straight, a little bit of a turnover from from the gold tee pad. You're looking at OB long and OB right of the basket. Nothing until you get much closer to the pin. The long stuff is just more of a hindrance than anything else. I expect to see probably 4 forehands out of this crew because it makes the most sense. There's no real trouble if you come up unless you skip into the OB. That looks pretty good based on this angle. That came out pretty flat. I wonder if it just might have gone a bit deep, though hard to say from here. Again, looking pretty ideal. Don't get to see Ryan tee off. Here's where Austen landed. Nice middle C1 putt. Well done. This is showing as Jakub throwing through, so I guess he missed his second shot. Apologies on that one. We have Jaden and Ryan cleaning up their birdies. So nice to see Ryan's, everyone's kind of back on it. Austen and Jaden now tied, one back of Ryan, who still has 4 strokes on Jakub. Here we come to hole 8, par 4, 621 feet. This is a new pin position for this year. Ideally throwing up to this area that we're flying over now. The left-hand side is OB all the way up until you get to the green. Here you see the white and blue baskets, and tucked back into the left we have the gold basket. So very interesting to see how these guys play it. I'm guessing most of them are going for big hyzer around that one tree in the middle of the fairway to line themselves up to hyzer into the green. Get the green flag from our spotter there. Thanks to all the spotters that were out there this weekend. They all did a great job in maintaining all the pace of play and everything else that helps make events like this such a great one. So looks like 2 of them kind of in position 1 and 1A. Ryan taking the forehand line, which is going to keep himself from going OB. I like that plan. Just takes the idea of OB out entirely. But he might have caught the edge of the tree and knocked down. But it's hard to say. Looks like Jakub's also taking kind of that idea, but going a little bit wider. Yeah, so if Ryan, I'm guessing he clipped the tree based on where the disc finished. He looks like to be the only one on the left side of those trees as you're approaching the green for the gold basket. So he's going to throw big sky anhyzer. No problem. Looks like he's up there. Should be sitting pretty well positioned for his birdie putt. Jakub looking like he's going to throw a nice big hyzer around those trees in the middle. Also looks very good maybe on the right side of the green, although it's hard to tell. I haven't had a lot of opportunity to play that hole yet. Austen throwing his approach. And then Jaden, who kind of has the white basket in his eye line, but certainly going to be nowhere near it, as there's no reason to be. Just more of a visual distraction than an actual obstacle. Here we have Jakub putting, looks like kind of edge of C1, based on where those little marker flags are. Could be just outside. That was unfortunate. That's a lot of chains and just didn't stick. Jaden cashing in his putt. Ryan his, and Austen. There we go. So 3 birdies on this card for a hole that was playing almost a third of a stroke over par. That was 3 of the 6 birdies that were had on the day. So as we get to our last hole, rounding out our front 9, we have hole 9, 400 feet. I apologize for the graphics here. I don't know what they're looking at there. 400 feet, par 3, throwing over this OB kind of peninsula, which is about 70 to 80 feet wide at its widest point, but most of these guys are just be going way around it, or straight over it. Looking like he's in a good position there. Jaden throwing a big backhand. OB, I'm guessing into the second patch of OB that's just beyond the green here. Because it looked like it definitely got over that first bit of OB, but possibly into the second. Yeah, so it looks like he's putting from that little OB area just along with the green. Nice little uphill putt here. Good. Well done. Well saved par. Looks like Ryan and Austen are right underneath the basket there, with Jakub about 15 feet making that. Here we have like 2 bullseye shots here, so congrats to both of these guys for putting it right underneath the basket on what is not an easy hole, for sure, even though it did play a little under par at 2.8 strokes. That was the front 9 here at Haute. Definitely keeping it close. Austen has gained 1 stroke on Ryan. Jaden's still 2 back. Jakub is now 5 back. As we get into the rest of this round. Thank you very much, and we'll see you on the back 9.